Welcome back to video lecture for CS 368 Web Technologies Module 6 PHP. So in this video I will discuss about primitives, operations and expressions in PHP. So the main topics of discussion under this section are PHP data types, scalar type conversions, arithmetic operators and expressions, string operations, arithmetic functions and control statements. So first one is PHP data types. So we know that PHP is a dynamically typed language, and that is the type of a variable is determined when we initialize that variable. That is when we assign some value to that variable. Okay. So there are four scalar data types in PHP. So first one is int or integer, second one is bool or boolean, third one is double or float, and fourth one is string. So first one is integer type. So integer type represent whole numbers, and in most of the cases this is 32-bit in size. So this integer, it must have at least one digit, no decimal point, and this integer can be positive or negative integer, and it can represent decimal, hexadecimal, octal and binary numbers. And second one is boolean. Boolean has two possible values. It represents binary, and two possible values are that is true and false. Third one is double. Double represents real numbers. Double and float, it represents real numbers. Double literals can include a decimal point and an exponent or both. Okay. And fourth one is string. String represent a text enclosed in single quote or double quote. In single quoted string, escape sequences and variables are not substituted for their names, but in double quoted string, variables are substituted with their values. For example, suppose a variable $s equal to 10. Okay, then suppose we are printing the value of this one in we are trying to print the value of this one by putting it in a single quote, that is sum equal to $s. Okay, so we are writing it in single quote, then it will print the same string sum equal to $s. That means the variables are not substituted with their values. But if we put double quote here, okay, so it will print sum equal to 10. It will print sum equal to 10. So if we put single quote, it will print the same string, and if we use double quote, it will print the value of that string. Then, so there are four scalar data types: integer, boolean, float or double, and string. Then there are two compound data types in PHP. One is array and second one is object. Array represent a group of elements of the same type. Okay. So in the next video you will learn how to create and manipulate arrays in PHP. And second compound type is object. Object represent group of associated data and methods. And there are two special data types in PHP. First one is resource and null. Actually, this resource, it's not a data type, it's a reference to external data sources. One example is a database call. Okay, so it's not actually considered as a data type. Then second one is null. Null means no value. That is, it's a special data type which can have only one value, that is null. Okay, so a null type, the value of a null type variable is null itself. So these are the data types available in PHP. The next topic is scalar type conversions. So this is an important topic and is already asked for your university examination. And we have seen this type of data conversion, that is implicit and explicit data conversion, in JavaScript also. So in PHP also there are two types of scalar type conversion. One is explicit type conversion and second one is implicit type conversion. Okay, so explicit type conversion and implicit type conversion. So this explicit type conversion means the programmer specifies the data type conversion. That is called explicit type conversion. That is, in the program itself, the programmer specifies the conversion from one data type to another data type. So this explicit type conversion can be done in three ways. One is typecasting. Second one is use of int val, double val or str val functions. Third one is with the help of set type method. Okay, so three ways to perform explicit type conversions in PHP. So first one is typecasting. So in typecasting, we can typecast a variable to a new data type. So the format is within parenthesis new data type, then dollar variable name. Okay, for example, int dollar sum. Okay, for example, suppose dollar sum dollar s equal to some 10.5. Okay, suppose the value of variable s is 10.5 and we are dollar a equal to int of dollar s. Okay, so we are typecasting this variable s to integer. So here we are typecasting this variable s to integer and assigning to this variable a. Okay, so what will be the value of a equal to, the value of a will be 10. Okay, what will be the value of s will be 10.5 itself. S will be 10.5 itself, then the value of a will be 10. Okay, so this is called typecasting. And second method is use of int val, double val or str val function. Okay, so we can use int val function to convert the data type of a variable to int, to double val to convert the data type of a variable to double, to an str val can be used to convert a variable to string. Okay, for example, suppose dollar s equal to some 4.8. Okay, and suppose we are using int val function, so int val of dollar s. Okay, we write int val of dollar s, so it will return, so this function will return integer value, that is 4. Okay, so this is the use of int val function. So in the same way we can use double val and str val functions. So that is the second way. And third way is we can use set type method. Okay, so the format of set type method is set type dollar variable name new data type. Okay, so for example, set type dollar sum double. Okay, for example, suppose dollar s equal to some 10. Now we are, suppose we are using this line set type dollar sum comma double. Okay, so the data type of initially the data type of this sum is integer and we are converting that to a double value. Okay, so the new data type is double, or initial data type was integer and the new data type is double. So we can use this set type method to change the data type of a variable. So this set type method can result in loss of data, that is truncation, and also the value of the variable is changed after each data type conversion. Okay, see, for example, in case of typecasting, suppose dollar s equal to 10.5. Okay, and suppose we are typecasting this to int of dollar s. Okay, we are typecasting this value to, suppose dollar a equal to int of dollar s. So we are typecasting this variable s to integer. So the what will be the value of a equal to 10, and what will be the value of s will be 10.5 itself. Okay, but in case of set type method, if we use set type method, set type dollar s comma integer. Okay, so the value of dollar s is dollar s equal to 10.5. okay, so and we are using set type dollar s comma integer, then the value of this dollar s will be 10. Okay, not 10.5. so this is the difference between set type typecasting and use of set type method. Then the next method for scalar type conversion is implicit type conversion or coercion, also known as coercion. So it's automatic type conversion performed by the PHP processor. So the conversion can be performed between integer and double, boolean and other scalar types, and numeric and string types. Okay, so between integer and double, between boolean and other scalar types, and between numeric and string types. Okay, so one example for this automatic type conversion is, suppose we have a variable a equal to 10 and another variable b equal to some 4. Okay, and suppose we divide a by b, $a by $b. Okay, and the result is stored in $c, variable $c. What will be the value of $c? If you print the value of this $c, you will get 2.5. Okay, that means in case of integer division, okay, that means if two operands are integers, in case of division, the result will be automatically converted to a double value. Okay, so this is an example for implicit type conversion or automatic type conversion. So this scalar type conversion is an important topic. So two methods are the explicit type conversion and implicit type conversion. Next one is arithmetic operators and expressions. Okay, so the arithmetic operators in PHP are plus, minus, star, slash, modulus, plus, plus and minus, minus. Okay, then for plus, minus and star. Okay, so the first three operators for plus, minus and star. If operand 1 and operand 2 are integers, then the result is also integer. Okay, but if one of the operand is double, the result is double. But in case of division operator, if both the operands are integers, the result will be a double value. And for modulus operator, the values are auto converted to integers. Okay, so in case of division, the result will be double value, and in case of modulus operation, the result will be integer. Now, some of the PHP predefined functions that operate on numeric values are given here. First one is floor, ceil, round, strand, rand, ABS, minima, maxima, etc. Okay, so many functions are there. So some of the functions are given here. So first one is floor function. So it takes a double value as an argument, and it rounds a number down to the nearest integer. Okay, so for example, suppose $a equal to some 5.2, and if we give floor of $a, what will be the value? The value will be 5. Okay, so if we give floor of $a, the value will be 5. Okay, like that. Then second one is ceil function. Ceil function, it rounds a number down to the, not down, it rounds a number up to the nearest integer. Ceil function. Then round means it takes a double argument and it rounds a number to the nearest integer. Then another function is strand. Strand takes a integer argument as parameter, and it initializes a random number generator with the specified parameter. Okay, so a strand of, for example, a strand of 10, if we give a strand of 10, it initializes the random number generator with 10. Okay, then next one is random function, RAND. It takes two numbers. So it's a pseudo number, it generates pseudo number greater than the first parameter and smaller than the second parameter. Okay, so it generates pseudo random numbers which is greater than the first parameter and smaller than the second parameter. Then another function is ABS. It takes a number as an argument and it returns the absolute value of the parameter. Okay, so if we give ABS of some negative value, it returns a positive value. Then minimum function, MIN function, it takes one or more numbers as argument and returns the smallest number among them. For example, if we give minimum of $a, $b, okay, and if $A equal to some 10 and $B equal to some 2, then it returns the value of $A as value of $B as the minimum value. $A equal to 10 and $B equal to 2, so it returns B, that is the smallest number. Maximum max function, it returns the largest number. Okay, and there are so many other functions like sine, cos, tan, exponent, sqrt. Okay, so many functions, predefined functions are there that operate on numeric values. Now the assignment operator used in PHP is equal to, and we can use shorthand assignment operators like plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, etc. Okay, so we can write A equal to A plus B as A plus or equal to B. A equal to A plus B can be written as A plus or equal to B. Now next one is string operations. So the concatenation operator used in PHP is dot operator. So it combines multiple strings. For example, suppose $A equal to a string hi. Okay, and suppose I write $B equal to $A dot friend. Okay, and if I print the value of $B, it will print hi friend. Okay, so dot is used as the concatenation operator in PHP. Now there are so many functions, predefined functions that operate on strings in PHP. So first one is strlen of string. So strlen function, it returns the number of characters in the string, that is the length of the string. Okay, so it will return the length of the string. Now a second function is strcmp, and it string compare function, it takes two arguments, $s1 and $s2. Okay, so it takes two strings as argument, $s1 and $s2, and it compares those two strings. Okay, and if the strings are equal, it returns a value 0. Okay, so if the strings are equal, it returns value 0. If s1 less than s2, it returns a value less than 0, and if s1 greater than s2, it returns a value greater than 0. So that is strcmp function. Next one is strpos function. It takes two arguments, two strings, and it returns the starting position of second string in first string. Otherwise false is returned. Okay, so if the second string is not present in the first string, a false is returned. For example, suppose $s1 equal to welcome. Okay, $s1 equal to welcome, and suppose $s2 equal to el. Okay, and suppose we write strpos $s1 comma $s2. Okay, strpos $s1 comma s2. So it returns the starting position of second string in first string. So what is the second string? Second string is el, and so it returns the starting position. So here it returns, so this is 0, position 0, and this is 1. Okay, so it returns the value 1. That is the starting position of this el in welcome. So that is the use of strpos function. Then substring function. Next one is substring function. It takes three arguments. The third argument is an optional argument. So it extracts a substring. Second parameter, that is starting position, and third parameter is number of characters. Okay, so second parameter is the starting position, and third parameter is number of characters. For example, suppose $str is equal to welcome to. Okay, suppose this is the string, and suppose I extract a substring sub equal to, using the substring function str function $s comma. So I have to specify the starting position. So this is position 0, this is the position of w is 0, e is 1, like that. Okay, so suppose I specify position 1. Okay, so this one so this method, it will return the substring starting from position 1, that is it will return ELCOME2. okay, so it will return this substring. Now I can specify a third argument, which is optional argument. Suppose I specify 2. okay, the last argument as 2. That means the number of characters in the substring, it represents the number of characters in the substring. So starting position is 1, so it starts from E, and the substring contains only 2 characters. Okay, so it will return this one, EL. Okay, so that is substring method. Next one is chop method. Chop it takes 2 arguments. Second one is an optional argument, so it takes a string as the first argument, and the parameters /0 /t /n /r etc are removed from right end. Also we can specify a second parameter, a parameter that has to be chopped off as the second parameter. The same way, the trim method, in trim method characters are removed from both the ends, and in ltrim method characters are removed from the beginning. Okay, so ltrim removes characters from the beginning, then chop method removes characters from the end, and trim methods, it removes characters from both the ends. So we can specify the character to be removed as the second argument, okay, which is an optional argument. Otherwise, if not specified, if the second argument is not specified, it will remove /0 /t /n /r etc. The next function is str2 lower and str2 upper. Okay, so str2 lower, it converts uppercase letters to lowercase, and str2 upper, it converts lowercase letters to uppercase. Okay, so these are the string functions used in PHP. Now the output functions. All outputs from the PHP processor must be in the form of HTML or XHTML. So the mainly used output functions to print some value to the output are print, echo and printf. Okay, so first one is print function. So it is used to create simple unformatted output, and in case of print function we can omit the parenthesis. Okay, this parenthesis can be omitted, and we can write like this, print $sum. Okay, so it will print the value of $sum. So $sum is a variable, and this first statement, it prints the value of $sum. Second statement also, it prints the value of $sum. Third statement, it prints sum equal to the value of $sum. If the value of $sum is 10, it prints sum equal to 10. Okay, then HTML tags can be embedded in print statement. Okay, so in the fourth example here, this print statement, it includes a HTML tag, h2 tag, that is header tag. So $sum, the value of $sum will be printed as a heading. Okay, h2 heading. So then next one is echo statement. Echo function also serves the same function of printf statement. So the syntax of this echo statement is same as that of print statement. The next one is printf function. So PHP borrows printf function from C language. Okay, so we know the format of printf in C. Okay, the same format is followed here. So we can write like this, printf. So printf sum equal to percentage D. Okay, so we can use some type specifiers like percentage D, percentage S, percentage F, etc. Okay, percentage S for string, percentage F for float, and percentage D for integers. So printf sum equal to percentage D comma dollar sum. Okay, so we can print the value of dollar sum like this using printf statement. Okay, so these are the three output statements available in PHP: print, echo, and printf. Now moving to the next topic, control statements in PHP. So the relational operators in PHP are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to, double equal to, triple equal to, that means strictly equal to, and not strictly equal to. Okay, so we know the difference between double equal to and triple equal to, right? See, if we suppose if we write 3 double equal to, if 3 double equal to a string 3, okay, then it will return true. Okay, so that means we are comparing an integer value with a string value, but the value is same. Okay, data type is different but the value is same. So if we are using double equal to, it will return true value. But if we use triple equal to, if 3 triple equal to string 3, then it will return a false value. Okay, because this one is integer value and this one is a string value, so it will return false value. This is the difference between double equal to and triple equal to, strictly equal to. Then the Boolean operators in PHP are AND, OR, XOR, NOT, and OR. Okay, so here this and this one, these two are same. Okay, the operation of these two are same, but the precedence of AND is lower than that of this one. So this one has higher precedence. Okay, so this one has higher precedence than AND. So that is the difference. Now the selection statements available in PHP are if else, if, and switch. Okay, so these are the main selection statements available in PHP, and looping statements are while, do while, for, and also break and continue is there. Break, continue. Okay, so the looping statements are while, do while, for, break, continue, and last one is for each. Okay, so this selection statements and looping statements we have already studied in this the fourth module, and there is no change in the structure of these statements. And a new thing here is the for each statement, right? This one, for each. So this for each statement is mainly used for looping through the values of an array. Okay, and this can take two forms. One is given here, that is one is given here, for each array variable as $key arrow $value, that is one format, and another format for each array variable name as $value. Okay, that is second format. So it can take two formats like this. So it loops, this for each loop, it loops over the array, and each value for the current array element is assigned to $value, and the array pointer is automatically advanced by 1 to go to the next element in the array. See, for example, consider this example. See here, $array equal to array of 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are creating an array containing 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the array name is ARR. Okay, then for each $ARR as $value. Okay. So here This for each loop, it loops over the array, and each value for the current array element is assigned to $value. So in the first iteration, the first value is assigned to $value, that is $value is equal to 1. So in the first iteration, $value is 1, second iteration $value is 2, third iteration. So it continues at, so this loop iterates 4 times here in this example. Okay, so inside this loop, the $value is multiplied by 2, and we print that value. So the output will be 2468. Okay, now let's see another example. So here also we are creating an array containing 4 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the array elements, and the array name is ARR. Okay, then here we are writing for each loop as for each $ARR as $key arrow $value. So here this $key represents the index of this array elements, and $value represents the values itself. Okay, so the first iteration key will be 0, so the index of key starts from 0. Okay, if we are not if we by default the index starts from 0, so $key, the value of $key will start from 0, and the $value will be 1. Okay, in the second iteration $key is 1 and $value will be 2. So the output will be like this: 0 arrow 1, 1 arrow 2, 2 arrow 3, like that. Okay, so it will display the index as well as the value. Okay, so these are the two formats of for each statement, and it has two formats. One is for each array variable as $value, and for each array variable as $key arrow $value. Okay, so these are the looping statements available in PHP: while, do while, for, break, continue, and for each statement. So in the next video we will discuss about arrays in PHP. Thank you.